end of this lesson, you will be able to give examples of how information and communication technologies are used in a particular business or in fields such as education or medicine. Write a report on the qualifications, skills, and character traits that are needed to enter and succeed in one particular career field. Hi there. Welcome to today's lesson, where we're going to deal with specialists and other careers that use computers and how computers have impacted on the workplace and employment practices. Now, during this lesson, Morwa and her friend Kamo will be interviewing people who will tell us how they use computers in their jobs on a daily basis.
Zamo, I remember we printed them out. Oh my word, where did we put them?
Relax, we'll find them.
They must have fallen out of my folder. Oh, here's one.
The other.
Great. Zamo, I know it's cool we get to interview people on how they use their computers and their jobs, but I'm so nervous. What if we ask the wrong questions?
No, you guys will be A-okay. Look, you've typed out the questions here, you've read them, you're prepared, you should be fine.
But Zamo, I still wish you were coming with, hey. It was going to be so much fun.
I know, but very important exam tomorrow and I have to study today.
Yeah, I understand.
Listen, you and Kamo should have fun, eh?
We will, Zamo. Thanks so much for your help.
High five. Let's get out of here.
The intellectual capital of a company is what many companies call the value of the knowledge and information staff members bring to their company. Computers, in turn, are invaluable in gaining, storing, and using that knowledge and information. And when it comes to making important decisions, company management needs accurate and up-to-date information that's quickly and readily accessible to them without it being available to any unauthorized person. It's also important that the information is not lost because the people with access to it don't have the skill to work with it, or because of computer viruses. That's why ICTs, or information and communication technologies, are vitally important in today's business world. But let's just see how much of an impact computers have had on the business world when Morwa and Kamo go out and about interviewing those people that actually use technology on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you so much for taking the time to see us and answer some of our questions.
It's a pleasure.
We'd like to start off by asking if you could give us a brief background of your company and what it does, and a rough idea of the number of staff you employ.
Well, Mnet or MultiChoice have been around for over 20 years. We started in the early 80s. What we do is pay television. We do television throughout Africa. We have a couple of networks, of satellite or terrestrial. And we have a couple of thousand people employed here, distributed around, mainly in Randburg, but around South Africa and Africa.
And could you give us a few examples of how ITCs influence the way in which your company works and does business?
ITC is very important to our business. We have distributed buildings within our campus here in Randburg, and we have different offices within South Africa and Africa. ITC has helped us a lot, and there's new technology happening all the time. I can show you an example. We've got a mobile phone here. We're broadcasting live TV to a mobile phone. You know, these are new technologies that are happening all the time, and we've got transmitter stations. Some of them in Nigeria, some of them in Kenya, all over South Africa, and we don't have to man these transmitter stations that broadcast television to cell phones. We've got new technology where we can monitor the air conditioning, which is within that transmitter site, and all the bits and pieces within that transmitter site. Yeah.
Having offices or branches in different places, does this mean you have to have more staff than if you were in just one building?
No, we have to have staff, but we don't have to have more staff. Because of technology, we can subcontract and we can manage the subcontractors via the internet and via communication using ITC's tools.
What are some of the other ways your company uses technology to be more effective?
We've got a website. It helps us with the marketing. We continually find new ways of doing television. Television onto computers, television onto cell phones. There's continuous markets where we can use technology to get our medium out to the market.
One last question. Could you run your business without computers?
No ways. Without computers, we'd be lost. The computers run our whole company. We need it. If computers go down, there's a definite problem with our business. There'll be no television. Can you imagine having a day with no television?
I just couldn't. I mean, take a look at this. How cool is this? Watching television from a cell phone.
Morwa and Kamo are very fortunate to have access to all this technology. There's still a large digital divide in many countries throughout the world. So many people still don't have access to computers and the technology to make their lives better. Technology is revolutionizing education. But the things that stand in the way of every learner having technology available to them at school are the digital divide and a lack of cheap broadband internet access. Traditional schoolwork used to be all about the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Nowadays, computer literacy is just as important. Morwa and Kamo have gone to visit an IT teacher. Let's hear what she has to say.
I'm Morwa.
Hi, Kamo.
We'd like to ask you a few questions about technology and education. How do you think using multimedia content helps make learning easier?
Well, the use of multimedia applications, there are so many applications. You can use animations and simulations which make teaching so much more fun. And when kids have fun, they enjoy the work better and they remember the work better.
How do databases and spreadsheets make it easier for teachers to keep records and do the administration?
Well, you can imagine having lots of kids, well, it's hard to keep up with all the kids. By using spreadsheets and databases, I can keep up-to-date records of all my students, and I can also keep information of important information that I can use to prepare my lectures and my classes, which is much more easier for me as well.
And lastly, why do you think the internet is such a good tool to have in a classroom?
Well, we use the internet for lots of different subjects, for maths, for computer science, for even chemistry can be done on the internet. The amount of information you can get on the internet is innumerous, and the access to the multiple resources gives us so much better access to different applications, which makes learning fun. As well, they also have a new thing, which is webcasting, which makes it easier for disadvantaged or less privileged schools to access to teachers and other resources that they can't always get available from where they are.
That would be awesome. Also, that would mean that teachers would never get interrupted by the intercom. Thank you so much for your time.
Bye-bye.
What's the matter?
I'm freaking out. I just don't like hospitals.
Imagine if we didn't have hospitals. There'd be no anesthetics, no painkillers. Oh, it would be horrible.
Well, I suppose so, but I still just don't like hospitals.
Here comes the doctor.
Hi, how are you? My name is Dr. Katrina.
Kamo.
I'm Morwa.
Nice to meet you. Come through, we go through my rooms.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for seeing us, Dr. Kathrada. We won't take up much of your valuable time. We'd just like to ask you a few questions about technology and medicine.
Sure, no problem. Be a pleasure.
We know that in the medical field, technological changes take place all the time. Could you give us an example?
Maybe we can start with when a patient just enters the practice. Initially, we have to record all his demographic details, age, name, address, date of birth, and then from there go on to history keeping. And yeah, that's the start of the technology. You know, we can log it onto the computer. We still keep our paper records as well, and I think that's the first thing in the technology that helps us quite a bit.
What about the use of technology in keeping hospital records?
You know, as we were mentioning, we're getting all their details, putting it on a database. It's important to record their past medical history, if there's anything significant, diabetes, hypertension, blood pressure records, so that, you know, if there's another doctor that's going to see them in a couple of weeks' time, they can look it up, see what medication we've given, compare results. And that's very important, you know, that record keeping. And technology makes sure we keep it all on database.
How has surgery improved through the use of technology?
It has improved quite a lot. Initially, before a patient has to go to theatre, for example, if they've got a tumor in their abdomen or in some body cavity, we can use good scans these days, CAT scans, MRI scans, PET scans, to get a good definition of what the tumor actually would look like. So the doctor is well prepared when he's going into surgery to see how he needs to operate. And then they've come out with laparoscopic surgery. So you're minimizing the cut on the surface, and almost through keyholes they're putting in instruments and a camera. So the camera is going to project the picture onto the screen, and then the doctor sees and operates through those little keyholes. So I think that's been great.
Now on TV, I've seen a doctor in one place telling another doctor in a different place how to carry out an operation while watching it from a screen. How does that work?
Yes, that is quite amazing. Basically, as we were explaining the keyhole surgery, you have a camera that's in the patient's body cavity, and that's probably fed via the internet to another place where the other doctor is, probably with more expertise, and he can guide him through the surgery. I think with studying an undergraduate degree, you always have that basic knowledge, and then there are those specialists in each field that can help you through specific procedures.
What is the role of the internet in modern medicine?
You know, I find that lots of my patients, they always Google their diseases first and then come in with a million questions. Most of the time they know what they're talking about. Some of the times they're a little bit confused. So usually I go online with them, we go through the same site, and I find that it's very helpful. Sometimes diagrams, pictures to explain to patients. I think that's very useful in a general practice setting.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Kathrona. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you, doctor. Goodbye.
Thank you. Hi, Pumi, I'm Mora.
Hi.
Hi, Pumi. I'm Kamo.
Hey, lovely to meet you. How may I help you?
Thanks for the time to see us. We'll make this real quick. We know how you guys must be so busy. Now, in the olden days, before Mora and I were even born, when you booked a ticket, the information was put into the computer. Is there any other information or communication that is really useful to the travel industry?
Yes, with the travel industry being such a huge industry worldwide, the internet plays a big role nowadays.
Also, the internet must help people find out more about the places they want to go to before they get there. But is it better to surf the web than to look at one of these?
Actually, yes, it is, because on the web you can actually find out about everything that you can do at a destination. You can find out about restaurants, hotels, places to go, what's hot and what's not. And you can even find a blog about the place where other tourists are writing in and they're telling their own experiences about the destination. So you'll know what they enjoyed and what they didn't, and what to do and what not to do. So which means you'll know everything about a place before you actually get there.
Cool, sort of like a dream.
Very important. That way you don't waste money.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've taken up enough of your time. Thank you so much, Bumi.
It's a pleasure.
Before we go, I was wondering if you could help us. What's the quickest way home?
What's the address?
33 First Avenue, Randburg.
Man, those things are cool. With one of those, you could never get lost.
Yes, GPS really is amazing because you've got a voice over, so as soon as you plug it into your car and you type your address, you'll know exactly where you're going because it'll keep telling you on the way, so you have no chance whatsoever of getting lost.
Wow, I must tell my dad. He loves trying out new places. Anyway, thank you, Mpumi.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks for your time, Mpumi. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, what a great experience. That really inspired Kamo and Morwa. So, let's recap what we've learned today. Information and communication technologies and the people who create and use them are extremely valuable. ICTs have changed our world in almost every way. Although ICTs may take over many jobs, they have also opened up many exciting new career fields and business opportunities if they can be used efficiently and effectively. Lifelong learning is available to anyone with an internet connection, and the kind of person you are is also a factor when choosing a career. Today, your task is to choose any field that interests you and give 3 examples and explanations of the ICTs used in that field. Write a report on the qualifications, skills, and character traits that are needed to enter and succeed in that field. Well, guys, another lesson has sadly come to an end. But don't forget, if you need more information, you can always visit our website at www.mindset.co.za/learn. So, until next time, bye.